All right, for example 2, it says Miss Key's class, there are 30 students. Okay, so that's important information. So there are 30 students, and I know 40% of her students wore a jacket to class. Okay, so 40% of her students wore a jacket to class. How many students wore a jacket to class? So that's how many students we want to know about. Okay, so again, I am going to draw my model. Okay, so if this whole thing represents one whole, which is Mrs. Key's class, how many students do I know are in Mrs. Key's class? In total, I know I have 30 students. Okay, so 30 should be my total. I'm going to label that right here for total. 40%, right? That is going to be my part. Okay, because I'm only talking about part of my percent, not 100%. So then I'm going to do again, I'm going to split this up into 5. Let's see. I'm going to split this up into 10 equal pieces. 3, 4, 5 to the best of my abilities. Okay. So if 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. If this whole thing represents 100%, okay, I only want 40% of this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this whole thing gives me 40%, and I'm going to shade that in. Okay, now it's telling us to set up a proportion. So when I set up my proportion, remember I want my part over my total, and I'm going to write my proportion right here. Okay, on this side I'm talking about percent, so I need to fill out my percent part. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, okay, 30 has to be my total, so I need to fill that out right here. 30. 40%, this isn't talking about percents, but this side is, so I'm going to need to fill this out. And I need to follow the same thing, okay, to where I need to cross multiply and divide, cross multiply these two, because those are the two that I am working with. But before I do that, I want to make things easier, so let me erase that. I want to simplify first, okay? Always simplify your fractions first, if it's possible. So here both numbers end with 0, so that means I can divide by 10, just like how in example 1. So if I divide by 10 in both, I get 40 over 10, so 4 over 10. So when I rewrite it, I get 4 over 10 is equal to blank over 30, okay? So again, I need to cross multiply just like how I said earlier. So these two I need to cross multiply. So then that means I'm going to multiply 30 times my 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. So I get 120, but I still need to do what? I need to divide by 10, okay? So then here I get 120. So with my answer, I'm now going to divide by 10. Okay, 10 can go into 12 once. So 1 times 10 is 10. I subtract, I get 2. Bring down my 0. 10 can go into 20 twice. So 20, subtract, I get 0. So that means here my answer has to be 12. So 12 students in Mrs. Key's class wore a jacket. Okay, I know I didn't mention it before, but it kind of cut off on the other video. But let me go back to example 1 really quick. The 200 was my answer. Okay, just an FYI. So $200 were spent by that principal. Okay, make sure to write everything down from both videos and move on to the next.